You're setting up like a massive sports bar. You've got 16 screens scattered across the room, and you need the exact same high-definition game hitting all of them simultaneously without, a single dropped frame.
Yeah, and that is definitely not a job for a standard HDMI splitter from a big box store.
Right. That just isn't going to cut it. So, okay, let's unpack this. Today's deep dive is jumping into the really heavy-duty commercial side of AV. We're looking at a spec sheet from HDTV Supply, specifically for the Kramer VM-16H. It's a 1:16 HDMI distribution amplifier.
Exactly. And it just set the baseline here. This is hardware built specifically for that massive sports bar scenario.
Right.
It takes a single HDMI input and distributes it to 16 identical outputs, pushing a maximum data rate of 6.75 gigabits per second.
Which sounds great on paper, but I mean, logically, I always trip up on the actual physics of splitting a signal that many ways.
Oh, sure. It sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, like think about it like a garden hose. You hook up 16 sprinklers to one spigot, and well, the water pressure just drops to a miserable trickle.
Right, exactly.
So if you're blasting 6.75 gigabits of data, shouldn't dividing it 16 ways completely destroy the signal integrity?
Well, if it were a passive splitter, absolutely, you would get that exact trickle effect you're talking about.
Yeah.
But what's fascinating here is how Kramer actually gets around that physical limitation with their proprietary technology. They call it equalization and reclocking technology.
Okay, so it isn't just like taking the incoming signal and slicing it into 16 weaker pieces.
No, not at all. It's actually actively intervening in the data stream.
Wait, actively intervening. How does that work?
So the amplifier reads the incoming digital signal, equalizes it, and completely rebuilds it from scratch for every single output.
Wow, so it is literally regenerating the signal.
Exactly. It essentially resets the data's timing, which guarantees the video can travel much longer physical distances to all those screens without, degrading into a pixelated mess.
Okay, so we're basically replacing the single spigot with 16 individual water pumps drawing from an infinite well.
That is a great way to put it, yeah.
But, I mean, the signal strength is handled, right? Rebuilding the raw data is really only half the battle, though.
Right.
Because sending a massive fire hose of pure data to 16 different screens simultaneously seems like a recipe for a massive EDID collision.
Oh, for sure. Managing EDAID, which is that extended display identification data, across 16 outputs is notoriously tricky.
Yeah, because how does the central hub manage the digital handshake without the displays getting completely confused?
Well, every screen wants to tell the source what its specific resolution and frame rate capabilities are. And if the source tries to listen to 16 different displays at once, the whole system just crashes.
That makes sense. So how do they prevent that?
This unit utilizes an ED pass-through algorithm, which is actually managed manually by specific select and read buttons right on the front panel.
Wait, manual buttons? I mean, I just assumed a piece of commercial gear would handle the EDID handshakes automatically behind the scenes.
You would think so, but automation in commercial AV can actually introduce a lot of instability.
Oh, really?
Yeah. By pressing read, the installer physically pulls the ED profile from one specific primary display and stores it directly into the amplifier's local memory.
I see. So when the source device sends the video, it only sees that one stored profile.
Exactly. It thinks it's talking to a single screen. This creates a rock-solid plug-and-play operation.
And that syncs everything up.
Yeah, it perfectly syncs complex data like beep color, 3D pass-through, and lip sync across all 16 screens without any of that handshake looping.
That is wild. So what does this all mean? For you listening, it really grounds these technical specs in reality. We aren't talking about, a casual living room gadget here.
No, definitely not.
This is a standard 1U rack-mountable unit running $619. It is purpose-built for the massive commercial setups that a retailer like HDTV Supply specializes in.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, looking through the rest of the HDTV Supply product catalog actually reveals an interesting shift in the industry right now.
Oh, what kind of shift?
Well, their website menu is heavily dominated by AV over IP and LAN-based matrix systems.
Oh, interesting. So you mean routing the video over a standard local internet network rather than, relying on thick, dedicated HDMI cables?
Correct. And it raises a valid question for the industry.
What's that?
With network-based AV over IP rapidly expanding and becoming so highly scalable, how much longer will physical hardwired distribution amplifiers like this Kramer unit remain the absolute gold standard for heavy-duty AV installations?
That is a great point. It makes you wonder if the days of laying miles of dedicated hardwired cable are numbered, no matter how powerful those signal rebuilding pumps actually get.
It really does.
Definitely something to think about the next time you're watching the game at a bar.